welcome back to the project. There's a lot of important stuff that I want to speak to, but and there's the mic, it's a little bit quiet. I don't have the best setup right now, but there's a lot of important stuff I want to get to, which I think is just going to be the title of this video. There's not going to be a whole lot of specifics, I don't think. And that's because I can't really plan well enough ahead with all the different obstacles that I'm facing right now. Maybe I could take a better approach, but I don't think that planning is even the right move, because there's a lot of urgency to some of the things I need to address. So it makes it difficult for me to really be present and speak what's on my mind on this project. And the benefit of this project is that it's very real, right? It's got to do with a lot of real life matters, and I don't try to make it too serious every time that I speak, but it is reflective of the circumstances that I'm facing right now. So in better times, or in a better environment, surrounded by better people, I guess the project would reflect that, but that's not where I'm at right now. That's not the environment, that's not the people, it's not the time, it's not the atmosphere. I have a lot of topics that are on my mind, but I haven't written them down because, I've written a lot of them down, but they're scattered across many different lines on different files and folders and stuff. And the vast majority of it is in here. It just takes way too much time to write it down, and I don't have the time luxury to do something like that. Again, given how much urgency is needed in the affairs that I need to attend to, there's just stuff I need to pay a lot of attention to right now that requires mostly doing. I just need to get things done. And it's very difficult to get things done right now too, given the state of life, health, finance, housing, surrounding environment, social circles and stuff like that. When it comes to working at the pace I used to, and it's very disappointing. Even though technically on a day-to-day basis I'm actually really happy for how far we've worked ahead. We're doing really, really well, comparatively, like relatively speaking. Not even relatively speaking compared to years back. I just mean all in general, I'm doing really well. But it's so far from where I would have been and where I need to be. That, maybe I'm overreaching here and saying that I'm falling short of the standards that I've set for myself for quite a while ago, but some of that is rooted in practicality and what I can reasonably expect from the real world. So I'm behind, and behind on urgent matters, urgent, important matters. So I kind of want to address them right now. And I guess the first thing I'll say is let's just switch the screen here, if I have the capacity to do that. You know what, I'll just talk to it, because my device right now that I'm using to record this has had a variety of different issues. I couldn't access the Wi-Fi, so I couldn't do very much in terms of paying bills or sending a certain application, and at some point I couldn't even log very important security events that I need to attend to. I'm being very vague for a reason, because not everything needs to be disclosed, especially if there are some very nasty consequences of disclosing certain things, because there are people who are kind of out to get me, and it's not good. And people are so awful, you know? People are so fucking awful. Some of them will do it for amusement, some of them will do it just for petty things, some of them will do it because that's just makes life so much more complicated. Makes it more fun, I guess. Not just for them, but I won't lie, I admit, you know, there's a primal nature in all of us, and that means I'm no exception. But I prefer not to engage in this kind of stuff if I have to, right? Fuck around and find out, right? That's kind of the saying. What comes around goes around. I don't like to start, I want to retaliate, but so, what did I want to say? There's a lot of issues that are preventing me from, I guess, working at the pace I used to, and one of them is just this project, of course, runs on technology, right? The laptop I have set up here, but right now it's totally bloated. There's at least, like I mentioned, so much content I had saved up on browser tabs, but they're slowing. They're not slowing, but they're going to cause problems for my computer, because there's no way you can have, for example, 2,000 tabs and 35 instances of web browser open. And then now I recently have opened Firefox, so if I try to change the display, it should probably show that in the background, but if it shows, it's OBS. But you saw a little bit on the back, there's the event viewer. So the reason why the event viewer was open because there was some software issues and I couldn't connect to the internet, like I said. And that prevents me from doing a number of things like banking, credit cards, paying bills, writing down daily records and events, writing down brainstormed ideas for this event, for these episodes, and just generally other things that are also very important. Where was I going with this? Yeah, so just can't really get a whole lot done. And then another major problem is I have to talk really quiet. Like this sucks. I have the gain maxed out on my mic right now, and it's not that I can't speak up, but it's very unfavorable. It's not good to have other people hear what you're saying. People can be, like I said, so fucking awful, so sadistic, so hostile, over usually nothing. Some are oversensitive and defensive, and then they bury that bitterness they have towards you over tiny little things that they just couldn't mature out of. And then as time passes, they allow that to fester, and they try to take action on that upon acquiring power. By the time that they have become smarter or stronger, they use the newfound power they have to harass you and abuse you, because they were at one point insecure and oversensitive and paranoid of you basically just going about your day. You're not even doing anything to them, and then it's insane. But of course there are people like this. And there are people who just like doing that because they think it's fun. I mean, that's the topic, right? That's why this is open. I'm making this video because I've received threats stuff. While I'm away. I won't say what that means, but you could think of a number of crimes. And of course I'm going to take proactive measures. I'm going to get in touch with law enforcement or whatever. And then I'm going to take my own measures sometimes as well. And there's some things I just simply won't say. Right? There's things that can be done administratively, through judicially, legally, policing. There are things that you can do yourself proactively. Tactics, strategies, preventative measures, deterrence. And then there are things that shall not be named, things that you should not say. Keep in mind, it's all purely self-defense. People are so fucking awful. They start shit. So I guess I wanted to disclose the thoughts that I'm going through. I wanted to deliver the messages that are important. And maybe it's important that I split it right now because I can tell that it's been running for a long time. So with the pretext out of the way, I guess the pretext is basically that maybe my time is coming. The good news is that I've always lived my entire life with every day being my last day, which is why I don't really have any regrets. I've lived my life to satisfaction. I've done everything I wanted to do on a day-to-day basis while still being able to plan for the long term. And we've been able to do this because, I guess, in as much as tragedy and unfortunate circumstances prove to be a significant hurdle that detracts from one's capacity to become the best, fullest version of ourselves. You know, in various domains like life, like finance, health, security, family, purpose, character, friends, social circles, community, and so on and so forth, business. It also teaches you a lot. I've never not been allowed, let me phrase this correctly, I've never not needed to work ahead in my life. Ever since as early as I could remember. The selective pressure was always there. You gotta get out, you gotta escape from this, you gotta build yourself up, you gotta strengthen, you gotta work faster, you gotta be smart, you gotta find the right friends, you gotta cut off the bad friends, you need to find the right people, the right time, the right career. You've always gotta work ahead. Because the world is cruel. People are cruel. People are so fucking awful. And so, knowing this, I've had certain advantages because I've had foresight. I worked on the things that were important to addressing these matters, you know. Sure, natural disasters and poverty and corruption and malnutrition and all that, you know, drugs, prostitution, crime, assault, battery, all that stuff is, well, I think the overlying theme is that one of the most dangerous things in life is literally other people. I think people should know that. I think they do, right? We all kind of know this tacitly. Other people are the most dangerous things to anyone, to each other. We are the most dangerous things to each other. So I've always had to work ahead because I always knew. It wasn't one of those, children, a lot of children kind of grow up and I guess their parents kind of protect them from that reality, right? But there are also just as many who know that since birth, whether they're orphans or they're the ones who've been touched up by their own disgusting family members or whatever. I'm not going to get into some of this. It's too relatable, it's too close to home, but a lot of us know that's not what the world's like from the moment we're born, or at least some of them from an early age, but some of us from the moment we're born, we know this is not a good world. The world is not kind, and that unkindness comes from other human beings. So you have to be able to discern and distinguish between the people who are actually caring and loving, and you have to find the right people. The diamonds in the rough, they're out there, but most people are not like this. Either it's not right to say that most people are cruel and sadistic either. It's just that the average person is very fallible, right? I'm not an exception. Most people can do really awful things. All it needs is a little push. It's very easy to overwhelm an individual. So they've been pushed beyond their limits. They will take their baggage up on others. People are the absolute worst to each other. They'll do it through politics, in the workplace, through business, the movement of money and wealth and power to subjugate, to embarrass, to humiliate, to maim, hurt. Words I won't use because they probably would be censored from YouTube. Any further, I'm not going to say. Crime, right? It's not crime. It's just like that's a major understatement. Talking flat out torture, manipulation, sadism, malice, resentment, bitterness. What manifests from that? I'm not going to say, right? You could think of all the awful things that people could do. Still wouldn't scratch the surface, So today is December 28th. I received a direct threat. Do everything in my capacity to make sure. But that being said, there's no better time to leave than now, I suppose. I always used to, it's a surprise to me sometimes that I'm still alive to this day. Given the circumstances. So I've always been very fortunate to have what I have, to have the time that I have with my loved ones, with my ambitions, with my goals, with to accomplish so far. But this might be a good time to leave anyways. I didn't think I'd make it to 32. Bruce and his son both passed at the age of 32. I felt like it was kind of an iconic number because of what it represents. I'm not going to expand on that further, but I've been working really diligently. I haven't made decisions that you would say I've basically been able to make. I'm very satisfied with my decision-making process and the way I've been working towards problem solving. Not just for myself, but for neighbors and the community and my local city. I've been trying to fight for a certain standard, to have people develop some sense of individual responsibility, and to stop coming at each other's throats. It's a metaphor, really. And I'm not saying that there haven't been stabbings or security incidents. That's what I mean. On a daily basis, there were multiple security incidents every time on the subway, on the train, on the buses, and everywhere in the public. But I guess you could say, and I'm not the kind of person to try to go out and do stuff like this. I think I'm moving towards the messaging, so I'm gonna end the recording and start a new one.